Hey guys, welcome to Becoming Soulful Couple, and we are inviting a lot of like-minded people to discuss on how to be happy as a married couple, how to be a happy woman, balancing both our goals and our marriage and our children and ourselves. And today I have a very interesting person with us. So I would like to introduce her like this. She is Dr. Alka Chadha. Have you ever seen a doctor stress-free and happy always? Have you ever seen a very joyful woman and who is always happy and who has balanced her goals and her marriage so well? Today I have Dr. Alka Chadha. Welcome on show, Dr. Alka.
Hi, Vimala. So nice to be here on your show. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm fantastic.
You know what I was telling them? I was asking my audience, have you ever seen a stress-free doctor who was always smiling and laughing? We have never seen such doctors. Hardly I have seen. So I want you to share quickly what is the secret of your smile, and in spite of being a doctor, how can you be stress-free? I'm so jealous.
No, the thing is, being a doctor is very easy to smile because my patients are my best friends, And when I connect with my patients, they bring a smile on my face. In the lockdown period, when I was not seeing my patients, I was so sad. So when I look at my patients, I talk with them, I connect with them. They are the source of my happiness. I'm so grateful for my patients. 35 years I'm in practice now. And the minute I talk to them, I become happy. That's my secret.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, doctor, you have to tell us what is your profession and what are you doing?
Yes, I'm running a, yes, we are in Bombay and we are running a center. It's called, I'm the founder of Hope and Care Center. So there are two beautiful words in my center, hope and care, and where we are doing endocrine work. I'm actually a pathologist, but I'm looking at all the patients, talking to them, connecting with them. And we look at thyroid, we look at diabetes, we look at endocrine disorders, infertility, and all of that. So I just love what I'm doing. Every minute of my work, I enjoy. Every moment I enjoy, really.
Perfect. Very different question. Why most of the doctors are not that happy and that smiling?
I think they're happy. I find most people are happy.
There'll be always a rigidity on their face. They'll be busy. They'll always be rigid. I have hardly seen any doctors so internally free, I've seen many doctors, they're so busy. Their faces are so rigid and they're so stressed.
I don't know. I don't know why, but according to me, when we meet people, our aim is to serve them. The purpose of becoming a doctor is we have to look after them, you have to ease them out, not stress them out. So my aim is to ask her, what is troubling you? In spite of the medical problems, I will say that, what is it that you really want? She will say, my husband doesn't talk to me. My husband doesn't have time for me. Then I'll tell the husband, I'll nudge the husband a little bit. Why don't you give her some time? Why don't you give her some quality time? Why don't you give her a flower? Why don't you give her a compliment? So like that, I keep doing this kind of stuff with my patients. I get into their personal lives and I learn a lot from them, and that keeps me happy and going. I just want to ease them out. For me, that is my main aim, that when a patient is sitting in front of me, I want to make him a happier person when he leaves my clinic. That is my aim, actually. Yeah.
Beautiful. So you don't focus on the disease alone. You are focusing on the human element also.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Most of the times I'm doing that. And that's what I think helps them a lot because, Vimla, you very well know that 99% of our problems are psychosomatic. All the aches and pains in our body are psychosomatic. The minute we talk to them, the minute they start laughing, the minute they start sharing, their pains and aches, they disappear, So that's what I try to do most of the times. To just ease them out and make them little happier versions of themselves. Yeah.
Beautiful. So this channel is meant for especially very, very ambitious women who are married. I could see so much of happiness on your face, having a very, very busy life as a doctor, and you're a wonderful wife as well. Can you give us 5 points, 5 golden nuggets for all my viewers, how to be happy in marriage life and focus on our goals as well?
I really don't know that, I have no answer to that. I can only say that just, be loving. I think when you're loving yourself and when you're loving the world around you, and your husband comes in that, your in-laws come in that, and whatever we want in our life, we can ask in a very, 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 very loving way. I think when I give love, I receive multiple times love I receive from the people in my life. So my mother-in-law used to be a little strict with me, but later on I managed to, tell her that, see, I have to go to work and I have to, I'm a doctor, so I need to go. Now she's fine with me, now she's absolutely fine. So I don't know what exactly it is. It's just that we have to be happy in our life, our inner self. Like you said, that you have to have clarity in what you want. So I was not knowing what I wanted. My mother taught me only one thing, that accept the people in your life. And that is all I did. I just accepted everyone in my life and I just loved them. I don't have a lot of nuggets to give to everybody. I just loved everybody who came in my life. I helped everybody. And that is what I am. Nothing else I can tell you beyond that.
But you have
Except,
written a book. You have written a book on that. What is the name of the book?
Yeah, the book is Magical Lives of Happy Couples. So what I've written is about the day-to-day activities of happy couples, how they can make each other happy. Like I'm telling you now, that just see what the lady wants. Just look at your husband, what he wants. And sometimes, we are giving in too much to our husbands. Like, for example, what I was doing, I'm sitting and doing some work. Let's say I'm writing a book. And my husband says, Alka, where's that checkbook? So I have to jump, I have to jump, I have to leave my work and run and give him the checkbook. And my work is lying there only. And then I realized, what am I doing with myself? Then I told him, it's lying in that cupboard. Why don't you see it yourself? After that day, he became independent. He was not asking for the checkbook. He took out the checkbook. He filled it up also, which is a very, very difficult thing for him to do. Now he writes his own checks. He fills up the book and he wants to deposit it in the bank. He does it himself. So I feel that nothing much has to be done. Understanding between the two is very, very important. You have to be helping the other person, trusting the other person. And what else is there in life? Empathize, accept the other person. I am not perfect. Similarly, my husband is not perfect. Accept the person with the imperfections and not try to change the other person. The problem comes, when they're trying to change the other person. That's where the whole friction starts coming, Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Okay, so when you say that when you say all these, it sounds so easy.
It is easy.
Probably you have been brought up in a home where there was a lot of happiness, and you have equipped yourself and filled your bucket with a lot of happiness. So the credit goes to your parents. So what is a marriage legacy you learned from your mom and dad?
Yeah, it's giving me goosebumps while you ask this question, Vimla. My parents were such a loving couple and we were 4 daughters. And I don't know ever I was looking out for my parents. They were always there for me. My mother was always there. My father was always there. He was working my daddy was a scientist from Bhabha Atomic Research Center. In the evening, when he came back from work now, I was playing, let us say, skipping rope. And 2 girls were holding the rope from both sides and we were jumping in between. So he would keep his bag on the side and he would start jumping with us in that rope, So my father was so young at heart, and he played with us. He talked to us. All my friends now, one is in USA, one is here, one is there, the school friends. They remember them talking with my father. My father used to talk to everyone. They remember having food in my house. My parents were very hospitable people and they served that chole bhature and my Punjabi khana to everybody, So my friends remember all these things. I have forgotten, but they remember. I just met somebody from New York and she said, Alka, I remember your dad giving us that chole bhature and that thing. And I was remembering that. So we were really brought up with a lot of attention, and a lot of pampering. It didn't spoil us, but he also took us, one thing he taught us was discipline. Getting up on time, sleeping on time, doing these things. And when I got married, he said only one thing, that accept everybody in your life. I don't think I learned too much from my father. This is what he taught me. I used to have innumerable dates with my father. Like, for example, I went to see a movie called Sound of Music with my father. And that movie, he will keep on pakawing me throughout the movie. He'll keep on telling me, this is the movie, this is what it is showing, and Maria is doing this. And I tell you, those things have had a big impact in my life. See how she changed the whole household, in that. There were so many people against her, but she managed to do it with love and affection. So those things have stayed with me in my heart. And I can't remember anything more except love and happiness in my family. That's what I
said. Yeah, beautifully said. So the one thing is the parents have to give whatever they can give to the children. For the children, when they grow up, they are filled with love, so that whatever happens in their future family, they are able to stand and give that love back. So what is a message for parents and how they have to handle their children?
Message for parents is that even if they have some fights between the two of them, it's all right. It's a couple, but I think that the fighting should not be done in front of the children. And it's okay to disagree, you should agree to disagree. So the couple, husband and wife, should be loving in front of the children. And more than that, real love should be there between the two. There should be no hostility. See, I feel the husband and wife should sort out their problems in the bedroom. And if they have anything, when they come out and meet their children, they should be with, with open arms, they should meet their children, And that is what I remember. My parents, they used to fight, but they never had big fights, small things. Like I told you, my father used to tell, I told you, now keep that sugar can up, you're still keeping it down. And my mother used to just laugh. She said, yeah, I'm not going to change now. Don't try to change me. She would start laughing. And after so many years of marriage also, he kept telling her the same thing. How many times I've told you, keep that tea thing up now. Why don't you understand that? She said, no, I can't understand why you stop talking about it. So we used to all burst out laughing. And my mother was a powerhouse of energy and powerhouse of laughter. She had belly laughter so loudly, she used to laugh, and the whole stress was, gone away. So like that, I've been brought up in such a household, So there is a couple will always have some kind of disagreements or fights, They should not be made into big fights. And the children should learn that a happy couple is, and I think the family, is the first institution that the child faces. There should be a team spirit and there should be some code language. Like when guest is coming now, we should know what we have to do. And my mom had taught me, this is what we have to do when the guest is coming in the house. We may be having less money, but we have a lot of resources. We can welcome the guest properly, We don't have to give expensive things to the guest. We can give a small thing to the guest, but it should be given with a lot of love and affection. So my parents have taught me this only, that, just be, and I think simplicity plays a very big role. And husband and wife are simple individuals. They love each other. That is what the children are going to learn. It's not by pravachan. It is not by lectures or anything like that. Just by example only they can teach the children.
Okay, I'm going to ask one personal question. Is there any mistakes that you made in the initial stages of your marriage? Any mistakes you made?
Yeah.
Now you have overcome that and you've learned lessons?
Yeah. The mistake I made was that I limited myself a lot. I wanted to become a cardiologist. I did not tell my husband that I want to become a cardiologist. I needed little more marks, but I had to wait for 6 months. I did not wait for 6 months. And I thought that, my husband is going abroad. He has to do his post-graduation. So I limited myself and I got my first baby. Then I got my second baby. And after that, it was very late. So I never opened my mouth only. So voice was not there only. I never had any voice in my life, in my mouth, in my throat. So now I'm becoming a more vociferous. But I'll tell you one thing. I feel that I'm rephrasing my life now. But I'll tell you, whatever decision I took in my life, for whatever reasons I took in my life, I have made it right. I made it right because I got a lot of time with my children. It proved to be good for me. Maybe I would have been I would be a flourishing cardiologist today, but I'm okay with what I'm doing today because I'm doing a lot in my life today, which maybe I was not be able to do. It's a rephrase, not the best thing, but I'm happy with what I'm doing. Really, yeah.
That's called acceptance. And you saw good in everything, whatever you had with, in life.
Yeah, okay, I accept myself.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. All this, I know where it is coming from, your mom. She's such a happy person and she handled all the stress with the beautiful repetition of the same sentence. Why are you trying to change me? I'm going to be like this. Beautiful.
Vimala, if I tell you now, my dad used to get irritated because my mother used to laugh so loudly now, and all of us girls used to also keep laughing because girls laugh more than boys. Giggle. We used to giggle a lot. And my father used to say, why are you all laughing? So we said, we feel like laughing. If you don't feel like laughing, what we can do? So like that, he used to get very irritated. He said, you 5 of you come together and you make me on one side. I said, no, we're not making you on one side. We are on your side only. You also laugh with us. We used to make him laugh, like that. Beautiful, it was, yeah.
Beautiful. So you have 2 sons, Alka.
Yeah.
So what did they learn from your marriage?
I think that question should be asked to them, no?
They're
But
married
I tell
now.
you,
They're married now,
yeah,
and your daughter.
both of them are married, and
Yeah,
they're married for a long time now, 5 6 years now.
yeah.
And I tell you that they are carrying out a very good work in their life. They are looking after their wives, and they're looking after their needs of their wives. And I always tell the girls that, do really what you want to do. Go ahead and do whatever you want to do. And I think that the boys are doing a good job, and that may be coming from within themselves, whatever they saw in me or my husband or their grandparents, my parents, my husband's parents, wherever they're learning from, wherever. I will not take any credit for myself, because I don't know how good a mother I was. I really don't know, because I was always in my practice and I was giving them less time. But less time doesn't mean that quality time is less. So I don't know where they learned what they learned, but they're doing a good job. Today I'm very happy to see the couple happy to be with each other and looking after each other's needs. And I saw my son making tea for my daughter-in-law, so I'm also learning from them. So I told, what are you doing? I asked my son one day in the kitchen. He says, this is the recipe my wife has written to me, which kind of tea she wants. So then I told my husband, now I'm going to write the recipe and give you, and you make tea for me. So he's making tea for me now, and that is wonderful. After 38 years of my married life, he's making tea for me. So I'm
You're
really
getting
enjoying
spoiled.
that attention.
You're getting
Yeah.
spoiled.
Yes. And I'm learning from my children, and it's a wonderful time that we are having. 6 of us are staying together in one house. And because of the pandemic, I can't ask for anything more than this from God. God has given all of us together, and these two boys are my Anmol Ratan. I call them Anmol Ratan. They are my treasures of my life. Along with these 4 girls, my 4 children are my treasures of my life. And I can't ask for anything more than that. Thank you for asking that question.
I,
Yeah.
I I wish all the best to your daughter-in-laws and sons. I'm so happy when you speak. I feel like I'm in utopia. Whatever you say, it sounds so positive. Everything looks so green and no problems at all. I wish I get this energy and spread to all the women out there. The credit goes to your mom. The credit goes to your dad. Now the credit goes to your husband, because
Yes.
he's
Yes.
accepting and he's traveling along with you, and now to your daughter-in-laws and to your sons. Beautiful. It literally sounds like an utopia. Everything's perfect in your world, Alka's world. And
It's
trust me,
not,
what?
Vimla, everything cannot be perfect. But I think what we have to learn is to learn to be grateful for what we have. Really, I tell you that we have God's grace with us, and but till we have God's grace with us, no, we have everything. And my father had fallen sick. I remember first time he was in the hospital, and when I told my mother that he's got a heart attack, actually my dad was playing a match of tennis. He was a very young father, and he was playing a match of tennis. I was in second MBBS. He must be in his 40s, early 40s. And at that time, when I came home and told my mother that he's having a heart attack, she said nothing is going to happen to him. Okay, don't talk like that. And that divine faith in God that she had, the shraddha that she had in God, and that is what made my father come home. And when my father came home, hale and hearty, she looked at the sky with beaming eyes and with tears flowing in eyes. She said, thank you, God. Thank you for the grace of God. And I believe that grace of God has to be there with us. And that comes only when we are grateful. We don't have everything. We can't ever have everything. It's not possible to have everything. But when I'm grateful now, I only focus on what I have. I don't focus on what I don't have. It doesn't matter. My mind doesn't go on that only. I just look at the positive points of my children, what good they're doing to us. Just being in my family, just being around is making me so happy. I
Wow.
just see them, in my house, roaming around here, there, even if I don't get time to talk to them nowadays, I am more busy than them. Earlier they were busy, but nowadays I'm more busy. Just now also when we were talking, my daughter-in-law, she came she was looking out from the door. I said, wait, I'm just coming. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we don't have. It's not that everything you're going to have, but our attention doesn't go on that. So I feel the power of gratitude is the most biggest power, and that's what keeps me happy all the time.
Yeah. Humbled. Is there anything that happened sad in your life, and how did you handle it? When something goes
Sar,
wrong.
no, yeah. Yeah, Sar, what happened was that my husband was going for his future studies. And as I told you, I had limited myself. I had not told that I want to do this. And then I had my first child, then I had my second child. And that time my husband went abroad for doing his studies. So that period taught me a lot. That period I was living with my in-laws, sometimes with my mom. And I had 2 little children. And I was struggling, between my clinic and my home and my work. I had not got a clinic. I was in the medical college that time, and I was running up and down. My two children, with one was in my arms, one was in my finger. And that time, I used to be very, very frustrated because I was not getting anywhere. And that was a period, the bitter period of my life. But then slowly, 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 I met a lady, she taught me the power of yoga. She told me, come and attend my class on yoga. When I went to attend her class, I understood it is all within me. I have to change myself. My husband, I have sent him with my own wishes that he becomes a very big doctor. And why am I grumbling? Why am I so complaining? And then when I started looking at the good parts of my husband, I started looking at the good parts of my life, I changed automatically. My kids were really very small, 3 years and 1.5 years, very small they were. And when my husband went abroad, I was feeling very lonely. But then when he came back, I understood that he had gone for a purpose. And then slowly, 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 I changed. So that was definitely a bitter part, but I think the bitter parts are the parts which make you grow. When we are in this down, when we are down, only we understand the worth of the other people in our lives, and then that's the time we grow.
I find this is very common with all the ambitious women. When there is a period that they have to focus on their home, their children, they feel that they are not doing anything. They are wasting time. So this is.
I was still in the medical college. I was still teaching in the medical college that time. In spite of that, I used to feel frustrated inside, running to college and back and all that.
I think they have to be patient enough to understand that women have to take some time for bringing up the family, for building the family, and it's the women's responsibility. And we need to take pride in that, and not thinking that we are wasting. And men are professionally growing fast. I'm wasting my time. I'm lagging behind. I'm not doing anything. Baba, you're doing the best work of giving birth to a child and bringing the child up. So that period is very crucial. Even I have right now one woman feeling the same thing, that she has 2 kids and she's asked to not to do anything and focus only on the child. She feels, no, I need to do something. I need to do something. She's so restless. So what is a message for such women?
I think what you said is very nice, that you have to be patient. I think the child needs us more than anything else. When the baby is small, the mother is ecstatic. I enjoyed my motherhood completely. Even though I went for a lecture on the 14th day after my delivery. My mother-in-law was not happy with that. My mom was not happy with that, but I took a lecture on the 14th or 22nd day after my delivery. But even then, we have to understand that as a mother, we should enjoy the baby. I was still working and I was still enjoying the baby. And I think 4-5 months I was at home. After that, I was working. So you have to make a balance somehow, and try to be a happier person. My motherhood is very, very important to me. That's all I can say.
That's the biggest investment we do on our child. If we miss that, then it's going to be very risky later. So it's
the biggest investment on ourselves also. Yeah. Because when we enjoy our motherhood, that period of time, I remember it is etched in my heart. Whatever period of happiness I had with my baby, with my child growing up, I was there with my child to see the child grow up. So that period is so much etched in my heart. It's an investment, complete investment.
Yeah. So one final question, Dr. Alka, what is the legacy that your entire life will carry on? Let's say that people need to talk after you leave this world. What will they talk about you?
I think that one has to learn to be happy no matter what. We have a lot of problems and challenges coming in our life. In spite of that, just like to get the grace of God, to be grateful, and gratefulness makes us happy. That's all I can say. That is one big thing in our life, when we focus on what we have and we don't focus on what we don't have. Appreciate what we have, appreciate the husband that you have, like you rightly pointed out. Appreciate the children that you have. I find a lot of people grumbling about their children. My son doesn't do this, my son doesn't do that. That is what you're going to be doing then. If your self-talk is like this, the children are going to become like that only. If you start praising your child, right, when he's a small child, you keep on saying, my child is very naughty, my child is very naughty. No, my child is very nice. My child is very obedient. My child is loving. My child brings so much joy to me. When we say these things, we bring those things into our life. We manifest those things into our life. So I believe that when we tell happy stories, we believe in those happy stories and we become those happy stories. So I always like to talk about only happy things in my life. That is my source of energy for my happiness.
So what is the diet you have? You're so happy. You should share us the diet you have. You're eating something different, that you're so happy. You're so lighthearted. What is that food you're having that makes you speak like this, be like this? I'm so thrilled to understand what is the secret and share it with my audience. Huh? You're always like this. It's not, I'm telling you, guys, she's always like this. It's not because of
But
this video she's like this. She just now came back from her clinic. I'm interviewing her. She rushed back from her clinic, and look at the spirit and the attitude and the smile on her face. I'm so jealous of you.
I, I had a bowl of yogurt just now when I came. Now I was feeling little hungry. If I said to eat my food, then again half an hour will go. So I took a bowl of yogurt. I put some sugar in it, and I had. And about talking about diet now, my son will tell you that Alka is the most badly. I mean, I don't take care of my diet at all. Whatever comes in front of me, I eat it. I'm not at all bothered about what I'm eating. Frankly speaking. And my son is always telling, "Mama, you take care of yourself, so that we don't have to take care of you. You don't drink milk, you don't have this, you don't have that." And he keeps fighting with me and my husband. He says, "Why don't you all take care of yourselves?" And supposing I want to have a sandwich or something, he will say, "Sandwich? Why do you want to eat bread?" I said, "Arey, sandwich mein thoda one slice of bread, if I can have once in a week, what will happen in that?" So he is like, I believe in pleasure of food. Arey, kabhi kabhi chocolate khane ka hai to kha lo. That, that gluco biscuit is there, no? Gluco biscuit. So if I have that gluco, I love to have that gluco biscuit in my chai,
Right.
Sometimes I will be loving to have that gluco biscuit, Parle G biscuit. So he will say, "Mama, what is this?" So I tell him, enjoy sometimes, na? Sometimes. So these kids are very strict about their diet and all that, So I am not very strict about my diet, frankly speaking. I eat whatever comes in front of me. But internally, one has to learn to become happy. Enjoy what you're eating and enjoy what you're doing. That is what makes you happy. It doesn't matter you're eating kakri, tomato, what you're eating, it doesn't matter. Of course, I don't take too much of fatty food. That is definitely there because that makes me feel very, very sleepy. I don't like to sleep in the afternoon. Afternoon also, I'm very actively doing my work. So that's what it is. I'm nothing very big about it. I eat whatever is available to me. I eat a kela whenever I was looking for a kela just now when I came after my clinic. I could not find the kela. So I just took a curd yogurt bowl and I put sugar and I just had it.
Beautifully said. So it is very, very contagious, Dr. Alka. I'm so happy I interviewed you, and you are one solid example for all the women to be happy, irrespective of whatever happens in your life. I think this is the biggest lesson my audience are going to, whether it's a husband or the wife or anybody who is watching this, are going to take away from this, that how is Dr. Alka so busy, just rushed from a hospital, and she had just a cup of yogurt and dressed up so beautifully like a queen, and spreading the word that we all need to be happy. Yes, I will go by whatever you said. Guys, be happy and get this energy. She's the busiest doctor. She rushed back from her hospital, and when I was starting the camera, she was having her yogurt, and we said, okay, we'll start and see the spirit. And I love you, Alka. So
love you, Vimla, love you so much.
Yeah, so bless my audience to be happy like you always, and you have shared all the tips, but one final word.
Just enjoy every moment, all of you. Life is very short, there is no point in grudging or complaining or fault finding, once we leave those three things outside, we can be happy. Every moment is precious for us. We don't know tomorrow if I'm going to be there or not going to be there. Really speaking, life is so unpredictable today. So just enjoy every moment, be happy, appreciate, give compliments. Last, I will say, it is nice to be nice. When I'm nice to you, Vimla, don't you feel nice? More than that, I feel nice. So thank you very much, Vimla, for having me on this show. I'm so, so grateful that we came and we chatted, and I had a really lovely time. Great time I had. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you, Alka. You are going to share all your details. I'm going to share it in my description box. And immediately, if you want a dose of happiness, you will contact Dr. Alka. They can?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
You can contact Dr.
I'm a happiness coach. I'm a happiness coach.
So she's a happiness coach. You can contact her. And thank you so much for your time. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah, bye. So that's all for today, guys. I'll come back again with another wonderful person to talk about love, happiness, and the importance of living the fullest in this one life what we have. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, Alka. Bye.